Hold on.
First things first. God damn, I really wish that song was never made.
Really?
Because every time I hear First Things First...
Well, welcome back to another episode of the Subpar Podcast. First off.
Are you really recording?
Yeah.
God damn it.
What up,
Anyway,
boy?
like I was
up?
saying...
Continue.
Like, every time I hear someone say, or I happen to say, First Things First, I think of the fucking, what's her name? The song...
Yo, First Things First,
First on the Realist. Yeah, and like... That she's sort of had more songs since then, but she's more or less a one-hit wonder. I don't think her career's
Do you
ever
even
gonna...
know her name? Do you remember her name at all?
Iggy Azalea. There we
Iggy
go.
Azalea. That's all right. So listen to this. When Iggy Azalea first came into the scene, and the First Things First on the Realist, I was like, Iggy Azalea is good. Like for some reason, it took over. It took
no,
I was
me too.
Like, this girl,
I loved that song.
I was like, and then I was thinking about it. I was like, Nicki Minaj is irrelevant now. Like
what?
Just because that's super sexist to me. But it is.
How is it
like,
sexist?
Well, there's a new girl now.
That
there can only be
sexist.
one girl. Like it's kind of shitty to think like that. But I just thought there's another girl in the rap scene. She's fucking spitting fire.
Yeah, no way.
Nicki Minaj is no more. Nicki Minaj hasn't been doing anything from what I don't follow rap that close. So.
Okay.
And I was like, Iggy Azalea just bombed Nicki Minaj's
You couldn't have
career.
been more wrong.
And I could not have been more wrong. So it's funny that you bring her up because I don't even remember her name. If you wouldn't have said it, I wouldn't have even remembered it.
Yeah, it took me a minute to remember.
But yeah. All right. So welcome back to another episode.
Yes.
We're going to try maybe a little bit different this time than
normal.
We're going to try to just keep it flowing maybe. And also maybe stray away from more media and just talk about whatever the fuck we want to.
Yeah, whatever's been going on in our lives recently. And...
It's funny, we had the conversation earlier tonight about the hindrances and having to follow a certain
restrictions.
Restrictions, and I was like, they can be very good. And then we're like,
and now we're get rid of
restrictions. So that's funny. I was like, restrictions are a very positive thing.
Yeah, they can be.
It's motherfuck restrictions, bitch. So
I don't know if we were that aggressive about it.
I was in my head.
All right.
I mean,
that's fair enough.
First things first. I'm the realist.
Fuck. You know who still has a strong career and who I'm following closely and I really love, who was featured in that song though? Charlie XCX.
I have no clue who that is.
And I was actually planning on bringing her up if we got into music later.
Charlie
XCX. Yeah, female.
Not that it matters. Jeez, I'm right out the gate just bad sexist right now. Go.
Anyway, what order do we have on the topics? Because I know we were going to start with you, and you're like,
Well,
so
yeah. I mean, another work week down. I've been pretty busy, and actually, this week was pretty light. I had a couple 8-hour days, which was very nice. I worked 8 hours. I came home. One day, I got home around 2 p.m. and the sun doesn't go down until about 4:30 or 5 now. Winter solstice was it yesterday, I believe? It's my favorite day of the year because the days are getting longer now. It's all downhill from here. But anyway, yeah. So so I got home at 2. You'll see, and it was starting to get it started to get dark, and I was like, man, I gotta go to bed. And I looked at my clock. I was like, it's 4:30. I still have 4 hours. So I have been playing a little bit of Super Mario RPG with the new controller that Cody gave me, which is a 8-bit do SF30 Pro gamepad, which is fucking sweet. I've been loving the shit out of it. It's awesome as hell. So I've been playing a game that I've been it's been on the list for several years, Super Mario RPG. I'm probably about halfway through it. And it's good. I like it a lot so far. I think it's the first time in my life that I've ever went from Mario game to Mario game back to back.
Oh, because Odyssey.
Because of Odyssey, straight into that.
It's weird, though, because they're very different games.
Very, very different.
Yeah.
And that one of the big things that I like about it is, the crazy characters. You got Gino, who's a doll. Bowser's on your team. I was like, holy shit. And I feel like a loser. Well, not like a loser, but I just feel weird that I didn't know Peach's name was Toadstool. I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
No, I thought her name was Princess Peach from
even in Super Mario 64 in the intro, when she's reading her letter to Mario, she says Prince. I think she
says Peach.
She does say
I
Peach.
baked you a cake. Peach.
I think on the letter though it says Princess Toadstool.
It might.
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. But yeah, that
Peach
threw me for a
Toadstool.
loop because I thought Toad was Toadstool. And I was like, in the dialogue in the game, it said, Toadstool has been Toadstool has been captured again by Bowser, yada yada, something
So
or
you
another.
thought-
She. And I was like, Toad's a girl. It's okay. What's going on? You know,
okay.
but there's Toadette. So I was like kind of confused.
Toadette wasn't even a character back then.
But I'm saying I knew of
Right.
Toadette now, and then I saw that Toadstool was a girl, and I was like, well, why do they have Toadette? There can't be two girls. You know what I mean? Damn it, dude.
In
I'm
Sean's closed-minded
The
world,
sexist,
there can only
man.
be one girl in the spotlight
There can only be one girl. I'm just
in
kidding.
the world.
They should all be girls. I'm sweating. Every character.
Everyone should be a girl. I wish I was a girl.
But honestly, I do prefer female-fronted, like female protagonist games.
Well, then you're gonna love the game I'm gonna talk
what
about.
game is that, Cody?
You didn't even say anything about Mario RPG.
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm about halfway
damn
through
it.
it. No. I like the obscure characters. That was one big thing. It's like
Gino hasn't been
Goofy.
back since then. He sort of
I
cameoed
think-
in some other Mario game, I think. But I think the reason he hasn't popped up again is because he's either completely owned or like the ownership is shared between Nintendo and Square Enix.
It's Square. Yeah, that's what I figured.
So
I think they may have just been Square Soft.
yeah, back then they were Square Soft. Now they're Square Enix. Though.
Right.
That's why I said Square
This is
Enix.
pre-merge.
Yeah.
Cody.
This is when-
This is 99.
I know.
1995.
Squaresoft and Enix.
I think it was
know.
1995 that it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, it was late, and it was right before the 64 came out.
Okay. That's probably why Star Ocean 2 isn't out. That's Enix. 100% Enix. When Star Ocean 2 was...
What does that have to do with...
I'm just thinking.
But you said it's probably why... What's probably
Star
why?
Ocean 2 hasn't came to PlayStation 4. Because it was made by just Enix. But now it's Square Enix. I don't know, maybe. Fuck you. Fuck me.
I don't see why that...
We're all going to hell. Anyway.
Well, you're not wrong, but...
I don't know about that. And neither do you.
You're right. I don't even believe in hell. So anyway...
Look at the camera. I'm just kidding. What's happening with this one? This is the new podcast we were talking about. Things are just weird. It's going to be weird. Yeah, Super Mario RPG is good. I like it. The controls are still going strong. It's not dated. The characters are cool. Bowser's on your team. I'm not any more than halfway through it. This is a comedy podcast. I haven't seen you without your glasses, I don't think, ever.
That's not true. I wasn't wearing glasses.
I've never seen this picture. What I see has never been seen before by my eyes.
That's not true.
Probably not. Do you wear contacts?
No. When we met, I wasn't wearing glasses.
Well, that's different. I don't remember, like...
I didn't
how when you meet
I didn't get
somebody-
glasses until after I broke up
This
with
is
Kelsey,
funny.
Sean.
This is funny. Oh, really?
Yeah.
I remember when you got glasses now.
Yeah.
Well, fuck you. I'm just used to them. They look good.
You don't even know
me.
me.
They look good.
What's my name?
Cody. Do you know my middle name?
I have known your middle name.
What is it?
I don't know, but you've told me.
It's Steven.
Is it really?
Yeah, Sean Stephen Campbell. After my dad. My old man's name is Steven.
That's only funny to me because your first name is an S name too, so it's like SSC.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If I ever own a boat,
Sean
it's going to be the
Steven.
SSC.
I'm gonna call you Steve from now on. All right.
Don't. I mean, I don't care. It's just
I'm just
weird.
fucking with you.
That's my dad's name and my uncle's name.
And my other really good friend's name,
Well,
Steve June.
my uncle's your really good friend? I'm just kidding. Quite off topic. Super Mario RPG is good. I've been playing it courtesy of Cody's 8-bit dough controller that I love. And that's
You don't have to
really-
lie. Do you like it?
I fucking love it, dude.
Alright.
I really like it. The only thing I wish is that Super Nintendo, the Classic Edition, like had a way to sync up with that. I'd have to buy a receiver, which is, I think, I looked up the price. They're like $16.99. So if I buy one, I'm definitely gonna get that because I heard the controller length, cord length isn't very long.
It's not.
And I'd like to use this because I love the D-pad.
Okay.
It's awesome, dude. It's good.
Sweet.
Like, if you ever want to borrow it, like, don't hesitate. I know it was
Alright.
like a Christmas gift, but if you're like, hey, I'm going to emulate this game, hook a brother up, I'm not gonna be pissed.
All right.
I actually have a Super Nintendo USB.
I know you do.
So I'd be fine if like I was playing something at the time.
All right.
Share the wealth. But yeah, okay, so we'll segue straight into the game that you've been playing, or games that you've been playing.
Yeah, I've got a few.
Since I shit the bed completely talking about Mario RPG and almost just skipped past it and didn't even realize it.
Almost did.
You go ahead.
So I'll start with the one I've completed, which is 2064 Read-Only Memories.
Okay.
Which is kind of an old game. It did come out earlier this year, but I think like March or something this year. And I've been wanting to play it since before it came out. Like I was following sort of its development very loosely. And then I picked it up because it was on sale. I forget how cheap it was. I think maybe $11. It's pretty cheap. And so I got it, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be an RPG, and I guess in a way it is, but it's more of a point-and-click adventure game. And I've never really played a point-and-click. I know about them, like King's Quest and shit like that, but I've never really played one. But I had a good time. It's pretty much all just dialogue and shit. There's not much in the way of gameplay. Like there's some sections where it's like shooting, but I mean,
really?
You're just like clicking on stuff.
Yeah. What is this? What did you play this on?
PS4.
PS4. Okay.
Yeah, but it's weird because you can tell it was made for a computer because like the touchpad, you can use like a mouse and a pointer comes up and you can like click on things on the touchpad.
That's actually really cool.
It's hard to use though
because it's so small.
It's so small. My fucking sausage fingers, But
I'm sure I'd have a hard time with it too. So
it's a good game. It's got a pretty good story. You can tell that it was made by, and I actually looked up the company later because I don't know, I was just interested. But you could tell it was made by like really liberal people, just because like.
Really?
And not that I have a problem with that. I'm like as far left as you can.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm a communist essentially.
I
really
say
am.
You're that far left.
I'm a communist.
Stop.
I mean it.
What do you mean by communist?
I mean that I think that everything should be publicly owned.
You're socialist. I'm just kidding. I don't know shit about. That.
Communism is just extreme socialism, really, when you get down to it.
Dang. Well, I know you're left, as am I.
Yeah.
But I also am like.
But now we're getting
kind of not really give a shit. Yeah.
Anyway,
this is how I talk.
The way you can tell it was made by liberal people is because like it has like very prominent gay characters. Like there are 2 different gay couples in it. They also ask you like one of the like your sidekick in the game asks you what pronouns you want to go by, and like you can even put in your own custom pronouns and stuff like that. So it's cool.
I'll never play that. Just so you know. Just kidding.
Okay, Dad.
That's how conservatives are. Every single one.
Oh, I know.
Just kidding.
Fucking snowflakes.
I'm just kidding. Dude.
I know.
It's cool.
If you're conservative, fuck you.
No, everybody has an opinion.
No, if you're Republican,
See,
if you support Donald Trump.
I'm liberal, and I usually don't voice my opinion on a lot of things. I have an opinion, I think about it, and I try to like learn from a situation or something that has blown up in the media. But I usually don't voice my opinion because I don't want to create more of a wedge between.
Yeah, I just don't care.
Right. I don't either.
And if you don't agree with my politics, don't watch this.
See,
I don't
you're
care.
a conservative at this point. You are far left. You're the enemy.
Far left. That's opposite of conservative.
Yeah, here's the spectrum for me. Far left and far right are all wackos. It's the meat.
Well, there are crazies on the left. I will give you that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But pretty much everyone, anyone who's like more left than me and then more right of me, they're all crazy.
More
as far as I'm concerned.
So you're the golden child.
I'm not saying just me. I'm just saying anyone who's like in like right on like in the same part of the spectrum that I am.
Okay. No, you're fine. I understand.
I'm kidding.
I know.
But anyway,
Hail Hitler. Anyway,
2064 Read-Only Memories. It takes place in the year 2064, right around Christmas time.
Okay.
And the point of the game is that you're an investigative journalist, and this like prototype robot finds you because his creator went missing, and he knows that you know his creator. You're friends with the creator.
Does everybody have a robot?
Yeah, they're all called ROMs, and I don't remember what ROM stands for. It's not Read-Only Memories like the title of the game. I forget.
Whoa, that's funny that it's not.
Why would a robot be called Read-Only Memories? It doesn't make sense.
I guess you're right.
But I forget what. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like a prototype one because he actually has like. true sentience, I guess.
Okay.
Like,
he's aware.
Yeah, he's got an actual, like, more or less as close as we can get, like, to a human mind.
Okay.
Rather than just, like, lines that he rattles off whenever someone talks to him, you know.
Okay.
He's actual artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So his creator went missing, was, like, kidnapped or whatever, and so he comes to you because he knows that you're friends with him, and he thinks that you're the most likely person out of everyone his creator knows that will be willing to help. And so you're just, like, trying to figure out what happened to the guy.
Okay.
And you meet some cool characters along the way, and very, very story-driven, dialogue-heavy. It's got some kind of notable voice acting. Like, the whole thing's voice acted, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
How is the voice acting?
It's all right.
Well, then that's good.
It's all right. Some characters are really well voice acted, others not so much. But familiar name to the show, Jim Sterling, he voices a character.
Nice.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. That's cool. I was gonna make a joke about how Wes thought that Ozzy Review Man sounded just like, but I couldn't think of anything quick enough. So we'll move on.
I'd give that game like a 7 out of 10. At first, I was giving it like an 8, but then I played through it all again. Because, like, when I streamed the game. First, I played through the game just, like, over a couple days, and I beat it. But then I saw that there was a trophy that you can get if you play the game from beginning to end in one session.
Okay.
And so I decided to stream doing that. I was like, if I'm going to do it, I might as well stream it. So I did, and once I played through it again, I was like, wow, this is... I don't know. I still like it, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I did the first time I played it.
So, replay value, in your opinion, isn't there?
I mean, it's got moderate replay value just because it has different endings, and there are, like, you can interact with characters in different ways, and, like, it'll have a serious effect. Like, I was doing things on my second playthrough that I didn't know you could do.
Nice. That's always
the first
good.
time.
I love that feeling.
And, like, the ending was actually very different. I was like, wow. Like, I actually liked the ending. It was more interesting to me the second time through than the first time. Spoilers. So you eventually find out that the guy was killed. The guy who created this robot was killed. Okay. And it was done by the company that he worked for, which is like this tech company, which is why he was making the robot and shit in the first place, because like he's some like tech genius. And they killed him. I don't even remember why. I think it was just because he made that robot and it was his own intellectual property and they wanted it to be for the company or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Quick question. How long did it take you to get through it?
I farted.
Great. That was good. I'm glad you did that.
I think it took 3 hours.
Okay. How much was it? Another question.
It was around $11 or something. Normally, I think it's $20, but I got it on sale for around $11. I think it's still on sale. It'll be on sale till sometime January, like the first week of January.
Buying it. Well, probably.
I recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, you give it a 7
It's got a good
out of 10.
aesthetic, and you know, it's got a good story.
It's really hard for me to stay with completely story driven.
It's really short though.
Yeah,
super short.
But
like I got through it in 3 hours.
I watched a snippet of when you were streaming, and it looked like kind of low qual.
If you give yourself over to the game, like to the story, to the world, and you actually try to get invested, it's pretty easy to get interested in it. It's an engaging world, I'd say.
Okay. Was it like dystopian at all?
No,
or
it was just
like normal.
It wasn't dystopian.
Future?
It was more like it seemed actually relatively realistic. Like capitalism has like grown in that version of the world. Like, for example, police forces are no longer like public; they're privately owned by different corporations.
Okay.
So,
all right, that's crazy.
That's something I could.
About.
Yeah,
that would be wild if that were true. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it'd be for the better. It's hard to say.
I don't think so.
If they were all individually owned and operated.
But anyway, yeah. I was getting a spoiler. You find out that the guy was killed, and so you go after the company, like, sort of for revenge. And you kind of find out about this project that they were working on.
I was going to say, finding out that he was killed isn't the end of the story.
No, it's not the end of the story.
So that's every playthrough you will find that out, that he's been killed. That's like a major plot point. Okay.
Yeah. So then, but here's where, like, things... And there's at least one more ending. that I haven't
yet
gotten,
to
and I
do.
probably
Okay.
won't because I'm not going to play the game again, I don't think. But
It's only 3 hours.
I
Just
know.
kidding.
Anyway, so the first time around, you get to the point where you find out that they were working on this project where it was like this artificial intelligence that lived on the net, and like it was gonna be able to hack into like all the ROMs, which are the robots, like all around the world, and use them as like power sources, like use their remaining like the memory in them, or you know whatever, like the tech in each one, like to fuel itself and everything.
Okay.
And it was gonna, like, I don't know, control, like influence people's like searches and stuff. So like, for example, if someone searched up like information at like what is a ROM, or like there are hybrid people in this universe, so like people who like are like half animal, half human, for whatever reason.
Human hybrid. Okay.
Yeah.
I just automatically figured what Android.
Or like a cyborg.
A cyborg. Okay.
Yeah,
Android is full robot.
Yeah, all
Sorry,
robot.
I didn't go to college.
I have a degree. Anyway.
He does.
No.
I wish I could say I went to a
Anyway.
graduation, but I didn't.
Wow. Anyway.
Had to work. All the time. Go on.
Damn it. So, like, for example, if someone searches, like, what's a ROM, or, you know, whatever, this AI that is just, like, would be everywhere on the internet would influence search results that would make, like, that are more positive toward ROMs rather than, like, negative.
Okay. Right. That's what I figured you were going to say.
You know, stuff like that.
Since they're, yeah.
And so what happens, at least in this first ending that I got, is you hack your like robot partner into that system, and somehow with his fucking program or whatever, like they give all ROMs sentience like him.
So okay, wow.
And they take out that program that was gonna like hack into all the ROMs and use it for its power source, you know. So that's what happens in the first ending, and that's like a good positive ending. The second time around, since I was just trying to do it for that one trophy, I was just being like a complete asshole to like the robot partner and like everyone else. So like I got trophies for like making everyone hate me.
There you go.
And then like the ending like was really different. This time around, your robot partner decides to become that program.
Oh shit.
Like just
okay.
replace it and just like exist on the net and just fucking do what it was going to do, but just for himself.
So this is the dead guy's robot? Or
Yeah, the
your
dead
own?
guy's robot.
Oh, the dead guy's robot.
Yeah.
Okay. Since he's the only AI?
Yeah, he's the only
Okay.
ROM with any kind of like sentience
Sentient,
or anything.
he's the sentient being.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, he becomes that thing, and like everyone hates me. And unlike the first time around, there's no like epilogue where you can just like play that day forever. It just ends with
that's it.
yeah,
Like,
you can't like I
that's
didn't
kinda
save
cool.
the entire time, and so like it ended, and then like it just showed me my old like first playthrough save, and so that game's gone. My second playthrough is just gone.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds pretty sweet. I don't think I'll play it, but I don't know. It's just hard for me to like play. It has to be like a game that's like huge for me,
Right.
You know, whatever. But
Well, if you want a huge game,
well, let's hear it.
Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, gigantic! It will never end.
Yeah,
it's
they
never
keep
ending
updating it. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like they just spin off fishing game.
But I finally got around to checking it out because our mutual friend Justin let me borrow it.
What'd you think?
And I've only played a little bit of it, but I'm enjoying it so far.
That's how I was. And then you're gonna hit a tipping point.
Okay.
I'm gonna call this now because this is what I did.
Okay.
You're gonna hit a point where you're just like, "What the fuck am I doing?"
Okay.
And that's exactly what I did. But it's common for me to do that with games. I will replay a game and I'll like get, you know, to about the halfway point where it starts getting juicy, or maybe, you know, the difficulty spikes a little bit, and I'm just like, I've already beaten this. What am I doing? Eject, shelf, forever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that's just me, but go on.
Yeah, I got to the point. Do you remember when you get to this town and this kid who's like the son of a hotel owner tells you about a sword or like something that's hidden behind a waterfall? So you go check out the waterfall, and there's a cave behind it, and it's like an ice cave.
I haven't. No.
Oh, okay.
That's fine. Though.
It's pretty early in the game. Very early.
Yeah, it doesn't... I don't know.
Either it's been so long since you played
Final
it,
Fantasy
or
15.
15.
Yeah,
with the 4 guys who are definitely not gay.
No, I mean...
There's nothing gay about any of them.
Yeah, they wear leather.
Right. And they all have, emo hair and shit.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. Go on.
But yeah.
I don't even remember that. I must have just been like...
Either you were completely zoned out, or you
like,
didn't get that.
Is that like a major, like, is that story?
That's part of the story. Yeah, I've mostly been doing just the story
Maybe
so
they've
far.
updated it or something. I don't know.
That
does not.
It's
sound
pretty
familiar.
early on though.
Anyway,
I
got to, like,
I just did that.
Far.
It's one of the tombs that you have to go to for your family heritage or whatever.
I don't remember Ice though. I think I've only done one of those.
Oh, shit!
Yeah,
you stopped really early.
I was doing a lot of side quests.
Okay.
Maybe
that's why you got burned out.
That's what I do. I do all the side quests, and then I'm like, this game
I've done a
sucks.
little bit. I've done a little bit of side quests. I did like one hunt when Prompto or whoever asked about chocobos, and did you do that one?
Yeah,
Deadeye.
Yes,
I did that.
He was in the demo actually. Deadeye was the demo.
Oh.
So I had already done that.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was pretty cool
Yeah.
that you had to hunt. I mean, that was kind of cool. There was just so much I couldn't do with it. Mostly traveling, but
yeah, I don't really like how they do travel.
pay to fast travel was like kind of strange.
Pay to fast travel?
Not real money, but in-game currency. You had
Really?
Gil. Yeah, because
I've not encountered that. But I also haven't really fast traveled.
Well, you're in the vehicle.
Yeah.
And you have to. It's like 10 gil to go to your
I've
destination.
not even seen
right
that
now.
option.
Yeah. Maybe they've updated it. I don't know.
I've not seen a fast travel. The only fast travel options I've seen are like return immediately to your last resting point or return to your car.
This is while you're driving.
Right.
Like in the beginning of like the first couple seconds of you driving, it'll be like, would you like, or maybe it was like right away, like I'd like to go here. Would you like to fast travel?
Nothing like that has popped up for me.
I've
got two options. Drive the car myself or let my friend drive the car. And that's it.
I was given those options as well, but
I have not seen
yeah,
that.
I was like, why would I have to pay more money? That doesn't make any sense. It's like they're like encouraging me not to fast travel. I don't know. And then there was a lot of I don't know. I'm more talking about this game now, and I feel bad. But there was more like there was a lot of trees and shit, and I'd be running, and then I'd just be getting blocked by trees left and right. And I was like, not only do I have to go clear across the fucking map, but I'm like having a hard time doing it. I don't know. I just fucking couldn't do it.
Well, so far I'm having a pretty good time.
Okay, well tell me otherwise if it switches.
I
feel like it will.
It might, yeah.
Because Justin thought the same music at first. I loved it. And at first I fucking loved it. I was like, I'm going to beat the shit out of this game. I better do all these side quests. I don't want to miss anything. And then I hit this tipping point. But anyway.
I like it so far, but I haven't played much of it. So we'll see. But this other game, I'm sure I'm going to absolutely fucking love. I already really love it.
Okay.
Is Hellblade Senua Sacrifice.
Yes.
Which I'm finally getting around to checking out. It's on sale right now on PSN, so go pick it up if you haven't. I highly recommend it. But here's the thing. You have to play it with headphones on.
That's what I've heard.
And, like, at first I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then, like, it comes up before you actually start the game. Like, it tells you about, like, when this symbol pops up, it's auto-saving, so don't turn it off. You know, like a lot of games do. And then below that, it's like, and it's highly recommended to play with headphones, so you get the full, like, 3D binaural, whatever.
Oh, so you know, like, where the noise.
But here's the thing. I kind of, like, brushed off, like, everyone saying you have to play with headphones, and then, like, I was actually using headphones. Like, this is the only game so far that from the very beginning I've used headphones. Like, okay. Like I'm gonna beat the whole thing using headphones. And
good.
And it's because, like, the sound design is just perfect. This game almost deserves a 10 just for the sound design alone.
Wow.
Because
let me ask, what headset are you using? Is
like
it
the
top of the line, like
it's
really good
PlayStation, Sony branded, like the platinum, whatever they're called, gold or platinum, like wireless Bluetooth fucking headphones.
So they're pretty nice. Like,
they're
they
fine.
Have a good bassy sound.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're
I was just
decent.
curious if someone who had like a crappier headset might have the same experience. I was just curious what you were using because
they're fine.
If it's great,
if you have like a regular pair of headphones that you just plug into your controller, I think you'll have a similar experience.
Okay,
you don't have to have a nice Bluetooth headset like mine.
Okay.
But like you hear voices because there are voices in like Senua's head, and like
that's right. I have heard that.
And like you'll be walking or like you'll be trying to do something, and like some of the voices will discourage you and be like you're stupid, like you're never gonna succeed, or what, you'll never get through this. And other voices will be like, no, you got to keep going, and like
whoa,
it's just like crazy shit. And I don't know.
Don't spoil too much, because this is a game I care about.
Okay, yeah.
So give me a taste. Get me excited for this. But,
it's like,
but don't tell me any endings. Don't tell me.
And the combat is really good. Like this is why I think like. What'd you say you thought it was? Like this? What kind of game? It's not a hack. No, slash, the combat is like
Shadow of Mordor,
surprisingly in depth.
Wow,
combat.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me, and you should slap me for saying this, but it kind of reminds me of Dark Souls in terms of like this. Like you have to like kind of strategize.
Yeah. Okay.
You have to.
So it's difficult.
Or
is evasion key?
I don't know. Evasion and timing, because like
timing. Okay.
I've actually gotten like unlike in Dark Souls, I've actually gotten kind of good at parrying. Like in Dark Souls, I never even bothered to learn parrying because the timings are crazy. But in this, I can do it, and like it feels really rewarding, just like in Dark Souls. Like when you beat an enemy, it's like fuck yeah, I fucking did it.
Do you fail a lot with parrying, or is it like a big window?
I don't know if it's rewarding? A big window. It's definitely more obvious than it is in Dark Souls, you know, like when you need to press the button to parry. But yeah, but I don't know what else to tell you without spoiling anything. It's just, I'm telling you, the sound design is perfect. The sound design alone is like 11 out of 10.
That's wild.
The writing is a 10 out of 10. The writing is great.
That's huge from you. That's huge from Cody. You never give writing.
Yeah, this
great,
is the first video game I've played, or first media thing I've experienced in a long time where the writing was really fucking good. Okay. The writing is great. The soundtrack the soundtrack's like a 9 out of 10. It's mostly been like period, because I don't know if you know, but it's like sort of like Viking Norse mythology.
I did know that.
So like a lot of the music is like from like it's like all a cappella, like a choir of men like going, saying like Norse shit or whatever. Yeah. So it sounds like
just your typical like Viking
it
shit.
Works really well in the game, but there's been like one modernish song that's played a little bit. So that kind of, I don't know, it took me out of it. I was really liking the period music, you know.
Okay.
The gameplay also, aside from some puzzle elements, all right, so the gameplay I'd say 8 or 9 out of 10.
Okay.
If not for some weak ass puzzle elements, I'd probably say easily a 9, maybe a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And in fact, that's what's keeping it from being a 10 out of 10 for me, is some of the puzzle stuff.
Okay.
Because it's not really puzzle. It kind of seems like they put it in there to draw out the game. You know, like arcade games back in the day, like where like they only made it incredibly difficult to get more money out of you.
Right.
It's sort of like that, where like they put in some stuff just so it feels like the game's longer.
That's Yep. I know what you're saying. That was common back in the day, not only with arcades, but just longevity.
Right, like that's like where we get like the idea of like Nintendo hard. You know, like games were made really difficult to make it seem like they're longer.
Is it irritating though with difficulty?
No, like the game's not super hard. It's just that there are like one of the gameplay elements in the game is like every now and then you get to a door and you can't go through it without finding certain runes. They're like characters or symbols they have to. So like there'll be 1 to 3 symbols on a door. You focus on it, and then like you look around in your environment for something that looks like that symbol or character in the environment.
That's cool though. I like that.
It's kind of cool at first, but I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, I mean, because you do it a lot.
Well, so it's repetitive, but I don't.
And then there are some things where it's like, I guess that looks like that character, but I don't know. And like ends up being the answer. It's like,
really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've just never heard of a game doing that, so I was like, that's pretty neat.
And then there are some puzzle elements that are a bit more interesting, even though I've seen them in other, like, similar things in other games, like minor spoiler. It's not a story spoiler or anything, but minor spoiler. There's a puzzle where you're interacting with a building, like opening and closing doors and stuff, and you focus on like this giant mass thing, and each time you focus on it, it takes you to a different point in time with that building. So there'll be a point in time where like the building's like dilapidated and like kind of destroyed and stuff.
Okay.
And then it'll take you to another point in time where like everything's like nice and, you know, whatever, and like so you kind of go back and forth with that.
Is it just the 2 points?
Yeah, 2 different points.
Oh, okay.
And like every time you open a door, like even like no matter whether you're at the nice or the dilapidated like point, like all doors stay open and stuff. So like there's some interesting elements with that. But I highly recommend it, man. Like
I know it's on sale.
You need to play it. You need to have headphones on. If you don't like it, I would be very surprised.
I will. I'm sure I will. Stuff like that really grabs.
I've even thought about gifting it to you, like just buying it again.
Don't do that. You already did that.
I know, but like I know you're hesitant, and I understand why you're hesitant because I mean, like, you know, it's not an insignificant amount of money.
Yeah, well,
and you don't want to waste your money.
I'm really big
that
on
too.
Physical, you know. So
let's get
physical. All right. But yeah, it sounds good, man, and
it's like, very good.
Super good review from you thus far. So
yeah,
and it's kind of rare for you to like give, you know, I don't know, the audio 11 out of 10. I've never heard you.
I mean, I've never.
The visuals are out of this world, especially for indie developers. That's fucked. Like when I first saw like this game, you know, like the announcement or like the first time I picked up on it.
Well, Ninja Theory isn't an indie developer. It's only indie because they're self-publishing, but these are the guys who made Neo.
Okay, well, I mean, it looks way
and like
great
a bunch of other like big like AAA games and stuff.
Okay, so not indie developer, but still, it looks amazing.
Yeah,
it's one of the one of the better looking games.
Yeah, the visuals are great. But yeah, the reason I mentioned the sound design though is just because I say it's 11. I've never really like paid a whole lot of attention to sound design in games. It's like if it has a good soundtrack, yeah, I'll say it has a good soundtrack. But like, I've never really paid much mind to, I don't know, like the subtler things.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. See, lately for like, especially since we've been doing this podcast, I've been kind of taking notes on games, and I'll do like soundtrack, which Super Mario RPG soundtrack is not good. I don't
really?
like it. Yeah, there's no song that has been a banger for me.
Oh, that
like,
reminds
it's not
me.
Like Donkey Kong Country 2, where every song is just like, man, I just want to listen to this, jam it. You know,
the 2064 soundtrack is very good.
What's that?
Very good. The
okay.
2064.
See, I didn't hear any of that, so that's cool.
Yeah, I didn't mention anything about it.
I mean, I didn't hear that when I watched you stream.
Oh, okay.
Is what I meant.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe I will. I don't know. Maybe I'll check out the soundtrack. I love soundtracks.
Yeah, it's a good soundtrack. I recommend
too, so. What's going on? Anyway. What? We'll see.
You got me the soundtrack to a Hideo Kojima game on vinyl.
No, I didn't.
Fuck.
I'm just messing with you. I'm trying to get you. It's just it's not vinyl.
Well, anyway,
it's made out of wool.
Please play Hellblade.
Okay.
Please.
That will definitely happen.
I'm telling you.
It will. I'm weird about digital.
The writing, Sean. The
audio,
gameplay.
The visuals. The gameplay.
The audio. The almost everything is perfect or near perfect about it, except for like the puzzle. Some of the puzzle stuff.
What is like the average playthrough time? This is
of that game. Yeah. I haven't beaten it yet.
Well, how much have you put into it? I was just curious if maybe you, because I heard it was short.
I will say that for the price, I've gotten more out of it than I thought.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's short. Sometimes I do like short games. Sometimes I just like a nice, like,
I think I'm
3 sitting playthrough, or you put like 10, 15 hours into it, and you're like, that was great. And for how good it looks.
I mean, for $30, it's fine if it's short. But I will say that I've experienced way more from it than I thought I would for $30.
Okay.
And of course, I only paid $21 because it's on sale. But for the price and everything, and from what I've heard, because yeah, I've also heard that it's kind of short. Like, there's been way more. I've done way more than I thought I would have to get to the end. I'm not even. I think I'm close to the end, but I'm not there yet.
Okay. Well, it sounds great.
It's worth it. It's worth every fucking penny. It's worth $60
really?
so far. I don't care. Like, Shadow of the Colossus is also short if you know exactly what to do. Like that's a really short
For
game.
sure, that's most.
But like
games.
that was
Well,
worth $60 too.
games, but...
And this remake, I'm sure, is going to be worth $60, even though it's only $40.
Okay.
But yeah, this game, yeah, I really hope Ninja Theory does more like self-published stuff. Like they just make games that they want to make, you know, rather than pleasing a publisher, you know.
Yeah. It looks good, dude.
It's very good.
When I first heard about it, I was like, man, this game looks amazing. But I was like, but it's like Shadow of Mordor.
I wasn't,
sure.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
I didn't know what to think about it.
So I kind of like, just like, okay, yeah. I probably won't play that game, even though it looked so good.
It's very good.
Anyway, I'll play it eventually. I promise.
I hope so.
I will. Is there anything new or any like video game related news you want to talk about? Anything about maybe microtransactions and loot boxes or glitches and reviews?
Well, before we get to that,
sure.
Because those are like kind of bigger, meatier topics, I wanted to also talk about My Hero Academia.
Oh.
Which is an anime that I recently started watching. Okay. I've gotten through the first 12 or 13 episodes of it, and it's really good. Like I was telling you before we started recording, it's kind of like One Punch Man in the sense that it like has to do with superheroes, but unlike One Punch Man, it's not a parody where like, you know, Saitama himself is pretty much just a parody on like every overpowered anime character. But in this, it's so like one day, however long ago in the show's history, some kid was born and light shone from him, and since then there have been people like born all around the world that have got powers, but in the show they're called quirks. Like
Quirks?
You've got a quirk.
Oh, quirk.
Quirk. Yeah, you know, like when people say something's quirky or
quirk.
Like,
I thought you were saying quark. I was like, I don't know what that word means.
No. Well, that's like a physics term, but that's something, a quark.
That I couldn't understand?
Well, no, I mean, I don't even remember enough about it. Anyway.
Brody was here. Go on. Just kidding.
God damn it. God damn it. Anyway. So they're called quirks, but like about 80% of the population has quirks, so 20% are quirkless.
Okay, so
they don't have powers.
They're
they're just normal people.
The irrelevance. Well, if there's 20% of them, I'm surprised they're even alive. Humans are fucked. Well, I guess if they have powers, they're technically
but
not
like
human.
But like the push for people with quirks is to become heroes, to protect everyone. So like it makes sense that they're.
That's wild. There's 80% to 20%.
Yeah, 80%. So really, in this universe, the norm is to have powers.
Sorry to shit on you. If this was a real thing, that 20% would be dead in the dirt.
I agree. No, I agree. I'm just saying in the show.
Anyway, yeah, go on.
So the protagonist is quirkless. He doesn't have any quirks, but he wants so badly to become a hero, and he's very passionate about it. And so he like studies heroes like hardcore, and he knows everything about it, and he ends up running into the world's greatest hero, who's called All Might.
Okay. All Might.
All Might.
That's a cool name.
It's kind of a cool name, yeah.
I like it just because it's like just cliche almost.
Yeah.
All Might.
And he's kind of a cliche character, but it's played up for laughs. Like the show's kind of very much a comedy.
Yeah. I would probably enjoy it from what you said so far.
So anyway, he meets up with All Might, and All Might reveals to the protagonist like his true form, because what happened was like 5 years ago he got like severely injured, and like a lot of his internal organs are just gone. Like he has no stomach, a lot of his respiratory system's gone, so he can now only maintain his like powered up superhero form for like 3 hours a day. But like,
so he's a quirk, or he's not a quirk for 21 hours of the day. Is what you're saying? He's just a normal.
Yeah, he can't be a hero. He can't go out and help people for most of the day. He can only,
He's just an average. Well, that wouldn't even be average. He's
like 20%. Super weak most of the time.
But is he stronger than the 20%? Just curious. I'm just trying to get
stronger than the 20%.
When he's not powered up for those 21 hours, is he?
Oh no, when he's depowered, he's like he's really bad off. He looks sickly when he's because he got super. Like I said, he has no stomach. And he's missing most of his respiratory system, which is huge. Yeah, so he's almost skin and bones when he's not powered up.
Wow.
But when he's powered up, he's the strongest hero like in the world. So anyway, All Might recognizes the passion and like the drive of this kid, and lo and behold, the secret to All Might's quirk is that it's something that was passed on to him. Most people are born with quirks, but All Might got his quirk from someone else, and it's a quirk that's been passed down like from generation to generation. And how it works is that each one takes it and then cultivates it and then passes it on to someone else, and they cultivate it and pass it. And every time it's passed on, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why he's so fucking strong.
Okay.
And all you need to do to get it passed on to you is somehow consume part of that person's DNA. So how he ends up passing it on, spoilers, is he gives him a strand of his hair and he eats it.
Oh.
All Might gives the kid
a strand. Is that like in the... So does he lose the quirk then?
Yeah, once you pass it on, you slowly lose your power, and like the next person in line
slowly gains it.
Well, they gain it instantly,
okay,
but
good.
Yeah, you slowly lose it. So what happens is he trains him, because like at first his body's not. If he were to give him his DNA and like pass it on the quirk immediately, like his body would have exploded because he wouldn't have been able to handle it. So he has to like undergo a whole lot of physical training. So he does a lot of physical training. Then he gives him his quirk, and then this kid enrolls in a high school that's made specifically for people with quirks who want to become heroes. And it's like the best school in the world for that.
Okay.
And there are a lot of other kids who are doing the same thing, and I don't know. It's really, really good. He has this rivalry with a kid from his middle school who has a quirk, and he's always picked on him for being quirkless.
Quirkless, right.
Yeah. And once he sees that he has a quirk and it's actually really good and he's actually better than him, it really pisses him off. And, you know, it's this whole thing. And
I think it sounds very
It's really good shit. Like,
I'm not big into anime and you know that, but this sounds really good.
And the end of this first arc is really good because some, like, villains pop up and they know that All Might's getting weaker. And so, like, they're going to try to kill him. And they bioengineered this creature that is, like, just as strong as All Might.
Okay.
Who's like the strongest person in the world, and All Might's weaker.
Damn,
so
okay.
Yeah, it's really good shit.
Huh.
It reminds me of Naruto in a lot of ways, except it's funnier.
How many seasons are out?
2.
Okay, so it's pretty fresh?
Yeah, pretty fresh. There are only 38 episodes so far. There might only ever be 2 seasons. I don't know.
Have you finished it?
No,
okay.
I've watched 12 or 13 episodes.
Okay.
And I've really liked it so far.
Nice.
And like all the powers are pretty. I mean, there are some, you know, really run of the mill powers. Like the guy that the protagonist is rivals with, you know, the guy who picked on him for being quirkless.
Right,
His thing is like fire. He can create fire and, you know, use it. So that's pretty. And like, but one of the kids just has like all the attributes of a frog, essentially.
That could come in handy.
I know, and it does. And someone else has a thing where like they have these little balls that they can rip off their head and throw them, and they stick to anything, and they'll just stay stuck like forever. And that actually comes in handy somehow.
Forever?
Well, not forever, but for a long time.
Okay.
A long time.
I thought you meant forever. I was like, sign me up. That's what I want.
No,
I would just. It's harmless, but it would. I guess maybe not harmless.
It comes in handy, and then there's. What else can I think of? There's a teacher at the school whose thing is like a black hole. Like he can just like suck up anything and turn it into dust.
Huh.
There's another guy whose whole thing is as long as he's staring at you, your quirk is gone.
Dang. So I would be quirkless right now.
Yeah, if you had a quirk and I was that guy, his name's Eraserhead. And I was staring at you, you wouldn't be able, like, I could beat your ass because you wouldn't have your power.
Does he has to have a line of sight or?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And when he blinks, you have your quirk.
Oh, so that's exactly it. Any barrier would do.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Unless it was.
But he's good enough that he'll take you out before that happens. He'll keep staring at you and fucking take you out.
Well, what if my quirk was people were blind?
I mean, well then, you would be his counter.
I love Trump. Trumping people. No, I'm just kidding.
But
joke.
This show's good.
Sounds really good. I can't get into anime. I'm like that with all series television shows. I just lose. I just get bored of them unless I binge watch it. That's why I asked how many episodes were out.
Yeah, not many episodes.
There's 6 seasons. I'd be like, I can't.
No. It's fresh. There are only 30 episodes. They're it's like chewing bubblegum. You're gonna get through it without even realizing.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like they do a really good job of drawing you in and getting you to root for the protagonist. Like you're like, he's such an underdog, and you know, like people love the underdog, and
even with the strongest power.
Well, yeah, because
I know here's
something I haven't told you. Yeah, well, he just got it, and he can't fully control it yet. So most of the time when he uses it, he like, for example, if you wanted to punch through this table with like the power, it would break his arm. Because that's how powerful it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that. So he is the strongest, but
he's got
not really.
He's the strongest, but every time he uses it, he breaks something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
And until he gets control over it, that's how it is. He's used it once without breaking anything, but other than that,
was it during
every
a fight?
time it was he was trying to protect someone, and he used it, and he didn't break anything. But then he used it right after that, and he broke both of his legs.
Oh fuck. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is he fighting? Are there monsters?
Yeah, there are, like, it's mostly other people with quirks, but they're villains instead of heroes.
So it's just superhero villain world. It's not
Yeah.
like monsters or titans or
sort of.
anything like
There
that.
are kind of monsters, but the monsters are people with quirks,
So
and
they
can like turn into a monster. Like the first.
I was gonna ask because like One Punch Man, there's like a lot of fucked up looking monsters.
Right.
Is it like that?
Sort
or-
of. One of the first villains you encounter is this guy with a quirk who, while he's using his quirk or his power, is like he's like this green goo sort of thing. But most of the villains are humanoids. Like
That's funny. That's the first guy.
one of the first.
Oh, okay.
That's like the second
It was
guy.
the first because that could be kind of like a like. I don't know. In RPGs, usually the first area just has slime.
Oh.
So it'd be like, I don't know if homage is the right word, but like kind of like a thing.
Sort of
you
like
know,
that. Yeah, no. The first villain you actually see, I think, is this guy who kind of turns into a giant, like, not ape, but kind of like an ape. I don't know. He just gets big and he kind of looks like an animal.
Okay.
But he's taken out relatively easily. But then this green goo guy.
Don't ruin it.
He's in the first episode for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
It doesn't ruin anything.
How does he die? I'm kidding.
He doesn't die,
I'm just
but-
kidding. It's cool. Yeah, it sounds cool, man. I might check that out. I'm like kind of looking for a show right now. So
It's good. You should give it a shot. We
I've
can
been
watch the first episode after we're done with this.
You want to know what I've been watching? Like, all right, so I'll make
Porn?
a bowl of cereal. Well, besides that, obvious. No, I'm kidding. But so I'll make like a bowl of cereal, and I'm like, I need to watch something. I hate scrolling, so I kind of just pick like a whatever show and put it on. It's been Hey Arnold lately. I've been watching Hey Arnold, and I was scared to do it because I was like, this is gonna ruin my child. That was my favorite.
It was one of my favorites
I loved
too.
it because Hey Arnold was like such a moral motherfucker.
Yeah.
It was like, Mr. Kishkashka, with like a calm voice, and he's like, I will help you. I will give up all my time. And
But you're still enjoying it?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's still
good.
Yeah, it's still badass.
I've got one that's weirder or potentially more embarrassing than that,
Okay.
and that's Teen Titans Go.
Okay, yeah. You just fucking wait. No, just kidding.
And
That's cool.
the reason it's more embarrassing is because like a lot of people who are fans of the original series like shit on it because it's not the same and it's a comedy. But like I love the original Teen Titans that was on in like the early 2000s and everything. That's really good. But this is a different thing, and I also really like it because it's a pure comedy and it's actually really funny.
I may not have ever. Is that like the chibi?
Yeah, they're all like cartoony
I've
looking
never
and
seen
like
that
tiny
one.
and everything.
I've
Yeah.
never watched Go then. I've watched like some episodes of regular Teen Titan when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
I had cable. I haven't had cable since I moved out of my parents' house, so it's been a long time. What is let me ask, My Hero Academia, is that on Netflix? Hulu?
It's on Hulu.
Hulu, okay, I have Hulu, so
Okay.
I have.
If
I
you
can
didn't,
watch
I would
it.
let you use mine.
Okay.
Just so you could watch
I
it.
use my sister's.
Oh,
so-
okay, that's
and I
fine.
use my mom's Netflix.
That's right.
So I'm like,
because I've offered to
hooked.
use I've wanted to use mine when we were gonna watch something on Hulu together because I have the upgraded version that doesn't have commercials.
Yeah, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put in your shit, so I was like, we're watching this damn commercial, fucking Toyota commercial. That's good, dude. That looks like it'd be a good show, and I'm like kind of looking for something. So
Yeah.
I'll watch the first couple episodes and I'll tell you what I think. I'm sure I'll like it though. I really liked One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And if you're
This
comparing
isn't-
you're comparing just because of superheroes.
The theme is
and
pretty much
comedy.
the same.
I've just comedy anime is cool because it's hard for me to take some seriously where they're just like. Ugh.
And there's good action. So I mean, it really does have because like One Punch Man is funny, superheroes, also good action. Same thing.
Subbed
Funny,
or dubbed or
superheroes.
both?
They have sub and dub.
Okay.
But I've been watching the sub.
I figured.
Yeah.
Because you're an elitist.
I'm a weeb.
No, it's cool. A lot of people prefer it.
I thought about watching dub, but then I was like, but what if it gets to a point where like the later episodes aren't dubbed yet, and then I have to switch over to sub? Because that happens sometimes.
Yeah, because then the voice actors are different, and it's different.
Right.
You
it is different. You get used to one over the other, and then you have to switch. It's like, this is too weird.
I agree with you. Because the One Punch Man, I watched that all...
Subbed.
And then I listened to the dubbed, and I was like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not
like
the same.
Death
the character
Note
that
is the same way for
Saitama
me.
is just different now, almost, So, Death Note I watched dubbed.
Okay, yeah.
And I haven't even watched
I watched
it.
it
That's how bad I
way
am
before
series.
it came to America, and so it was all subbed.
Yeah.
And then like it came to America on Adult Swim or whatever, and they had dub voices. I was like, no, these aren't these characters.
I think it's great.
That's fine, but that's how you were introduced to it. I was introduced with Japanese voices. So
it's funny how that is. Man.
I know.
I'll listen to a recording, like a studio recording of a song, and I won't like it live. Like, oh, he does the
right,
different.
or even the other way around.
I'll listen to it live, and then I'll hear the studio, and I'm like, man,
that's like Wes with that one fucking Mac DeMarco song, and it drives me crazy because
Yeah.
I love both, but he's like, the studio version sucks.
Wes is a big live guy.
Yeah,
he's a huge live guy, and I've noticed that with like a lot of stuff. He's like, oh man, I can't. The studio sucks.
Right,
and he'll only listen to the one live recording that he likes. Which is like, that sucks. Just because it's like you have to like get on YouTube to watch it or something.
Right.
I don't know. Or maybe you could download MP3. But anyway, yeah, My Hero Academia. I'll be checking that out.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
So what do we have next on the list here?
We have glitches and reviews, and yet again, microtransactions.
Okay, let's do
and
glitches
loot
first since we've already
boxes.
covered microtransactions and loot boxes before. I'll get to
times.
it, but I'm coming at it from a different angle.
We'll do short and sweet with that.
Yeah. So glitches. The reason why I want to bring up glitches is because I've been thinking about it for a long time now. And like it just came up again because I watched a review of Skyrim on the Switch. And I watched two different reviews. I watched one by IGN and then one by Jim Sterling. And it made me think about it because in IGN's review, they just like wrote off the glitches, like, and there are a lot of glitches evidently.
They wrote them off like
they're just goofy. It's like, the charming glitches of Skyrim, because like since the original version of Skyrim, like they're like it's been infamous for its glitches. All Bethesda games are like,
it's been out since when did that come out?
Like 2012.
12?
Yeah.
I'm over it. Everybody is, but go on.
Right, but like, and I guess glitches are kind of treated like that by a lot of reviewers and by like IGN especially, like in games. Like if it's glitchy, they'll just be like, oh, those glitches are goofy, and they don't really care. But like a glitch is an imperfection in the game,
right?
And it should be addressed by the developer. And if it's in there, that means that game is worse than a game without glitches,
right?
Or like that gives it a negative mark compared to a game that doesn't have glitches, But like
every game has glitches, and I know but some of them are like hard to find.
I mean bugs.
Like, you can play
stuff.
through the whole game without coming across.
Right. I mean bugs. I mean things
that
are more common and like can actually severely affect gameplay.
Yeah,
and
if you
stuff
jump
like
on your
that.
horse and your horse disappears, yeah.
Right, stuff like that.
I understand, yeah.
And even if it's just graphical, like, yeah, you might laugh at it, but it shouldn't be there. Like,
right.
And it's a negative thing about the game. It's not something to just be like, oh, that's funny, and, it's
part
of it. It makes the game better or whatever.
Well, you can always just play it on a different platform. There are several to choose from.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Been released so many times. I'm just using Skyrim as an example, but there are other games. Like, I'm just saying...
From a reviewer's review.
Over the past few years... I would say I've noticed anyway, because I watch a lot of reviews from IGN and stuff.
They're one of the bigger ones, definitely.
Anytime glitches are brought up in the review, more or less, unless it's like something like, oh, I was playing the game and then my save file got erased somehow. Unless it's something like that, anytime they talk about glitches or bugs or whatever, they're just like, oh, it was, this person's head started spinning around and I just thought it was funny. Like, I don't know, Assassin's Creed or some shit. I don't know, but. It shouldn't be a positive part of your review. It should be like, a person's head was spinning around and it took me out of the experience and I wish it wasn't in there, and I hope Ubisoft or whoever the developer of this particular game is addresses it and fixes it. But instead they're just like, oh, whatever. And I hate it.
Yeah.
They
They
when I
should be
watched
more frowned upon.
Yeah, when I watched the IGN review, and then like, because right after that I watched Jim Sterling's review, and he was like, he encountered a whole lot of bugs when he played the Switch version of Skyrim, and then like you hear how lightly IGN takes, and it's just like, I don't know, it really pissed me off.
How did our boy Jim? What did he say about it? Like, was he saying these need to be fixed? Or was he kind of with IGN, like saying not with them, but saying the same stuff, like I encountered a bunch of glitches?
Oh no, he wasn't. No, he was more. He was fed up because he couldn't believe that at this point in Skyrim's like lifespan that these glitches haven't like already been addressed.
Yeah,
like he couldn't believe it. It's like this is like the millionth fucking port of this goddamn game. It's been out since 2012, and Bethesda still haven't gotten off their lazy asses and like addressed these goddamn bugs.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, I don't give a shit because I'll never play it.
But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. The point is that
if you're gonna release a game, you make sure there's no. I mean, fix the glitches, address them.
Right.
You know, I understand.
Well, that's not even. It
shouldn't be taken so lightly.
Yeah. My point is, if you're reviewing a game and you play it and you experience bugs and stuff, you shouldn't relay that information to consumers as if it's somehow a positive.
Okay.
You know, because that's the vibe I get from a lot of like IGN reviews, just for example.
It must be hard because they've completely sold out. You know
yeah.
I mean? So you can't really say too much negative. I guess I don't know how it is, politics, but.
So yeah, that's my spiel on
shit on a big developer like that. You maybe get more than a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean?
Fuck Bethesda as far as how they handle glitches go.
Yeah.
They make good games. I love Fallout 3. I didn't really like Fallout 4. I love Skyrim, but...
Yeah, there's a lot to developing I don't know about. I'd say 99% of developing. So, so like, I understand glitches are there. And for a game
and, like,
that
these games
caliber,
are big. And I know... but, like...
Yeah, there's going to be glitches.
But Skyrim's been out since 2012. That's 5 years that they've had.
Yeah.
I could understand like some rare thing not having been fixed by this point, but the way Jim Sterling, and I haven't played the Switch version, I'm never going to play the Switch version of Skyrim, but the way Jim Sterling put it is that like a lot of the glitches or bugs in the Skyrim version have been present since the original version of the game, and maybe they've been fixed in other versions, but they just haven't been fixed for the Switch version.
So they just gave it the bare bones.
I guess.
We're just going to move this over, and if anybody complains, we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And then IGN was like...
IGN just thought...
It's funny, there's glitches in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. So that's been in reviews for like a while, you said, for the past several years, and people...
I've noticed from like
IGN
and shit.
Or kind of bringing it up, but not really...
Yeah, it's more like it's a charming or positive
thing. Yeah, that's
part of
that's not good, and you shouldn't do that. I agree with you, and that's something that people don't talk about.
Yeah,
I guess people don't care. I don't know.
Well, glitches and bugs have become such like, especially in AAA games, like there's such like look at Assassin's Creed. Every new Assassin's Creed, like the past 3 or 4, like it's insane. Like I remember, I think it was Unity came out and like. Oh. There were like character models with like faces missing, where like all you would see is like eyeballs and mouths and shit. And like in this new one, Origins, I think is what it's called. Like I've seen glitches where like or bugs where like ships will be like boats, big boats will be out of the water, vertical, and like spinning or whatever, or like just all sort anything you can think of. It's all in this game.
Damn.
And it's a new, like, millions of dollars went into it, and that's the state it's in.
If I came across that with a game that I spent $60 on, I would be pretty upset, especially if it was AAA. But yeah, I guess.
And people have just accepted them.
Just accepted it. Well, maybe people will take a stand, like the same with microtransactions.
I was about to say, which brings us to
currently moving towards like the hey, fuck you, we're sick of this.
And that's another thing that's grinding my gears because at least since Overwatch, we've had things like loot boxes or microtransactions in like full price like AAA games, like $60 games. And until recently, people have more or less accepted them because they've either been, cosmetic only things or whatever, things that don't, directly affect gameplay.
Yeah.
But now with fucking Star Wars Battlefront 2, like it seems across the board, everyone's like fucking shitting on loot boxes and microtransactions in full price games. But this shit has been going on for at least a year, if not 2 years.
And console gaming is, and even longer in mobile gaming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like
But those are
fucking
typically free
Counter-Strike
games,
Go with like you remember the scandal, the gambling, the loot box like thing with that, like where the 2 YouTubers ran it, but they didn't disclose that they were running the gambling site, and they promoted it, and in all their videos they like won big, but they never disclosed that they owned it. So
Oh yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
I thought we talked about it, but it's
I don't
old.
think so.
It's more than a year old at this point. So
Maybe we like briefly did, and I forgot.
but yeah,
But
these
that
couple
doesn't sound familiar.
YouTubers owned like some Counter-Strike Global Offensive like weapon like skin loot box gambling site where like I don't know.
Huh.
You could trade skins and make money off of them, like real money and shit. And they
I have heard about this, but yeah, I guess it was just like kind of, I don't care if people want to do that, they want to do it.
well,
But
it
if
was a
somebody's
big deal.
benefiting, yeah.
Because these 2 YouTubers were making videos like promoting it as if like the company was sponsoring them to make videos.
But it was them.
But they owned it, and in
Right.
most of their like videos about it, they won really big. So you see, like if they own it, they
They're-
could
they're
rig
gonna
it.
manipulate
They could rig
what
it.
they're
Like
getting,
there's
right.
no proof that they have, but the fact that they didn't disclose it makes it really sketchy.
Right.
If they would have disclosed it, then
Then it
it'd
would've
be all
been
on the
like-
up and up. It'd be like, okay, we know you own it, so we know maybe
Some people would.
right. But the fact that they didn't say anything like that at all, they were just like, I just use this site for fun, and look, I'm winning, and
Yeah, you should try too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it. Wow. Yeah, see, I heard about that, but yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
about
old
all
shit
of
at this
that.
point.
Anyway, yeah, microtransaction loot boxes are shite.
Yeah.
I'm like sick of them. Even with the new Call of Duty World War II, you like get experience points for watching people open their loot boxes, so that you see what they're getting and you're gonna want to try to get that too. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this guy got that. I want that. I didn't know that was in the game, but now that I see it, I'm getting experience points to fucking look at all this shit. It's total fuck, dude. It's complete fuckery.
Yeah, and my whole point with like being angry about people shitting on it now is that loot boxes and shit from the get-go, like inherently they're just predatory. And here's the reason. Even in Overwatch, where they're as innocent as cosmetic, like if you're playing with someone who has like a skin, like a cool looking skin, and you see that, you're like, I want that skin.
It's like people winning those skins. That's another billboard on the map.
It's
You know
just
what I mean? It's a walking billboard in game that people are seeing. This guy's really good. He whooped my ass, and he looks like this. I want that skin. You know.
so
That's yeah.
it just
all
encourages
bad.
people to spend
It does.
more money.
And that's how it'll always be. You know, unless we take a stand and we don't support it.
Yeah.
Don't buy the games that are doing
Well,
it.
hopefully-
and if you do buy the games, don't buy the loot boxes.
Hopefully with these recent releases like Battlefront 2 and like people are getting pissed about Destiny 2 and all this shit, like, people actually take a stand now
Good.
rather than like I hope we don't forget about Battlefront 2. I hope we don't forget about the shit that Bungie's pulled with Destiny 2,
Right.
Because if we do, then we're just going to go back to normal.
Yeah, and then they'll do something else shitty.
Yeah, they'll
And
get away
then-
with more. you
Right.
know?
Well, that's what you can do. Don't support it, but it doesn't affect me because I don't get that pull. You know what I mean? Like I said,
Right,
with
but
the
you
first
care about other
podcast,
people, right?
I care about other people who are easily manipulated, easily
Or, like, have gambling
it's
problems.
flashy, or people with gambling problems,
Or like
yeah.
children.
Yeah. I'm telling you. I mean, it's very negative, but for me, I kind of never thought about that because it's like, hey, I work really hard for my money, and I'm not gonna buy it on a skin for a game that I may only play for 8 months. You know what I mean? So it was never a big issue for me. So I never saw any negative about it because it didn't affect me. It was out of sight, out of mind. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's shit. There'll always be shit. You know, and I agree. I agree with that.
So yeah,
Even though
That's all I have to
you're
say
making me
about
more
that.
aware. But yeah, That's good, dude. Well, we started it with this gift that you gave me, and now in the mail I received your gift that I gave you.
You haven't given it to me.
That I'm about to give you. Fuck you. And it's right here. And I gave you a couple hints, and two of those I gave you 2 hints. It's made out of vinyl.
And has something to do with
Hideo Kojima. That was it. So, give you a couple seconds to make your guess. Just kidding. Here's your gift. Open it. I hope you love it. I love it. I about bought 2 because I wanted one for myself.
It's a record.
You don't know that.
Mighty Music Mailer.
But what record, Cody?
It's a soundtrack for some game.
You never know.
It's probably Metal Gear Solid 5 because I really like it. Or it's Metal Gear Solid 4 because I also really like that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how...
I like them all.
We'll see how big of a Hideo Kojima fan you are. Let's see if you love this, like this, if you think it's sweet.
I also thought it might be this game.
What game is it, Cody? Show
Snatcher.
The camera.
It is Snatcher. Wow. Is this from what's that site?
Ship to Phone?
No, that's not what I was thinking of.
That's from Ship to Phone.
Okay. Oh my god. The artwork.
It's sick, dude.
I've never even played this game.
Oh my gosh, dude. There are some fucking jams on that.
I believe it.
Because I bought that. And I was like,
videos about this.
Before I bought it, I listened to the soundtrack. I was like, I want to see if this has bangers. I want to see if this is good. Dude, I went to Dagger Mountain, the coffee shop that our friend Tony works at, and I was like, put on the Snatcher album, dude. It's just me in here. Let's jam it out. Dude. There are some fucking bangers on that, dude. It's like early 90s, dystopian.
This is way better than what I got you.
It's fucking sweet, dude.
This artwork, just the cup and the back too.
It's sweet, dude.
Oh my god. I can't. Oh, all right. I'm gonna really. Do you have something like sharp or? I know you've got a knife somewhere.
I have a knife. Yeah.
Hold on, folks. We're gonna pop this. We're gonna rip this baby open.
Folks at home.
Oh my god,
dude, it's sick.
I love this cover art.
Yeah, hopefully there's more in it because I just saw the.
There are a lot of songs.
I know what the vinyl color is.
Oh, it's not normal color.
It's not black. No, ooh. I wanted to really get you something good. Man, you got me
you
Star Ocean.
Completely fucking.
You got me. You've gotten me.
You
some
one
good
upped
gifts
me
over the years. Yeah, when I told Ryan about that, he's like, "Oh my god, that's such a good idea." And I was like, "Cody loves vinyl."
I do.
And Cody loves Hideo Kojima.
I do. Now I'm gonna have to play this game. I've heard a lot about it. I've seen videos.
We watched the playthrough, me, you, and Ryan. It's called Snatcher because the robots take over humans.
Right. I don't think I was.
It's like it came out in like
I've seen
Neo
some
Geo or
right.
something.
I've seen some of the gameplay, but I've not seen a playthrough.
Well, make sure you're showing the camera all that good shit.
Oh my god!
I think there's 2 records in there.
Yeah, because
be careful one doesn't slide out.
Yeah, I will. Oh my god!
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Metal Gear Mark II. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah, I can't wait to listen to this. I can't wait to play the game.
Good luck. You're definitely gonna have to emulate it.
Oh, well, for sure. Oh, nice little inserts.
Yeah, dude. Those guys went ham. Ship to store.
Yeah,
badass.
I Am 8-Bit is the website I was thinking of. They do a lot of.
They may have went through
soundtracks for like indie games and stuff. Like they released.
Maybe Ship to Store was just like a shipping.
A distributor.
Distributor, yeah.
Yeah. Because I Am 8-Bit printed the soundtrack for No Man's Sky on vinyl, and they did 2064.
There's a lot. After I bought that, I got ad after ad.
Dude.
Crystal,
fucking
baby.
Transparent. Oh my god.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
It's sick.
Fuck you. You completely fucking.
Dude, you've gotten me a lot of good gifts, so I wanted to do good this year for you. You're
this
like
is
one of my.
You're
sick. Definitely one of my best bros.
Thank you, man.
Not a problem, man. I hope you enjoy it.
God.
I was kind of worried, like I know how people are with vinyl, and they like listen to it and then they just keep it shelved, you know. But
yeah,
but that's like games and everything collectible. So
listen, even if I didn't listen to it, I mean, I'm going to, but even if I didn't, I still appreciate it for the artwork. Like,
yeah.
I love looking at the
vinyl
artwork.
Is chock full of art, and this game was it's a video game, so of course there's going to be art to it. So
I can't get over this cover here.
hell yeah, dude.
I love the aesthetic.
Dude, yeah. I when I listened to it to make sure it was a good soundtrack before I bought it, I was like, oh my god, I want one. But I didn't do it.
That's so funny.
I almost did. I almost put Quantity 2 in the whatever. Almost bought me my own.
Well, now I've got to see if the other part has an insert. I'm sure it does.
I'm sure. Well, maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Oh my god.
I know music is big. That's how we met.
It is.
It is how we
That's
met.
how we're. That's the next part.
So we wanted to talk about the story of how we met. I don't want to make this run too long, but
how long have we been going for? Do you know?
1:15.
Oh, okay.
It's, I mean, not terrible, but yeah. So the story of how Cody and I met. I don't know how we became friends on Facebook. It's funny. One night back when I used to drink, my friend, and I never told you this, my friend Keith got on my Facebook, and just for shits and giggles, he just started, like, the people you may know, he just started adding them.
And I was one of those people?
You may have been. I'm not sure. Because I know you don't add people ever, and I don't either.
No. One time I did for Goofs and Gags, I just added a bunch of fucking random people.
Well, maybe I was in that.
No, you weren't.
Okay. Well, if you know for sure, then
I'm pretty sure.
There's a good chance that Cody added you and you just accepted it.
Or you mean Keith?
Keith, yeah, Cody. Damn it.
Cody.
You are Cody, and you are my friend.
I'm so excited. Dude, I'm going to fucking give you a hug and a kiss.
That's cool.
Right on the lips.
Well, my lips are very chapped. I've been...
Good. That's the way I like it.
Maybe you can...
That's what gets me on.
Moisten them up. But anyway, so Keith may have added you for me on Facebook, and then I don't know how much longer after that, Cody posted, hit me up with some new music. I'm looking for some new music.
Which I do every few months.
Yeah, you do. Which is, I mean, that's how we met. Anyway, so I was listening to this band called Vasudeva at the time. And it was, my favorite band at the time. It's still one of my favorite bands. They have a release called Life in Cycles that is absolutely amazing. I have it on vinyl. I'd show it if I had it in my hands, but I don't. It's right over there.
Yeah, actually, if I would have known we were going to talk about it, I would have brought all my Vasudeva shit.
Oh,
because
really?
I've got all their shit on like vinyl and cassette.
I love them, dude. Oh, they're so good. Especially Life in Cycles. I like No Clearance, too. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It's not... I don't like it as much. I know we've talked about this before. I don't like it as much. But, dude, they're definitely... Like, you can see that they've grown as a band.
They've definitely changed, yeah.
And they've also lost a member of the band.
That's right.
So it's cool. I like it, though. The first time I listened to it, I was like, man, this isn't the poppy shit that I love, about Vasudeva. But you could tell they've grown. I think... How many years were between those releases? Like 3, maybe even 4? It was a long
I don't know
time.
when Life in Cycles came out because how we met, you suggested on that Facebook post that I check out Vasudeva. And I did.
Was that before Life in Cycles? It was
after Life in... Yeah, they had Roots of the Tree and Life in Cycles out.
Yeah.
Life in Cycles out, I mean. And you suggested that, and I immediately fucking fell in love.
You replied to it and you said, I absolutely love this.
Yeah.
Which is fucking sweet because there's a lot of stuff that you listen to that I don't really like.
Yeah.
Like as of late especially.
Same with you.
Oh yeah, I listen to a lot of heavier
stuff. I don't really
stuff.
like punk.
Yeah, and that's fine. A lot of it is like a lot of it can sound the same to people. You know what I mean? So I understand that completely. But yeah, so you fell in love with Vasudeva, and then I don't know how much long after that even.
It was months.
It was months after that they played in Chicago.
Yeah, there was a show coming up.
And did I ask you or did you ask me?
I think you had to have asked me.
I think
because I don't think there was any way I would have found out because I didn't know anything about local bands or playing.
They actually played in
small shows.
They played in the basement of my friend Tim Curley's house.
Yeah,
so that's funny.
Insane.
He's a pretty big name in
underground
scrams and emo scene in Chicago.
Yeah.
He was in a scrams emo band. I don't know genres, whatever. Tim Curley. I think he deleted his Facebook. I haven't heard from him in forever. I think that that wasn't the last time I seen him. I saw his band for the show. Anyway,
so you invited me to go to this show, and it's so funny because I was so naive. Because I was like, Because the only shows I'd ever been to, I'd been like for big, like I'd gone and seen Kanye West, I'd gone and seen Cody and Cambria, and so like I fucking bought my tickets online, like actual tickets.
That's not how it is.
That's not how this was at all.
And it was so funny because you were like,
I thought we were going to an actual venue, and I thought it was it wasn't. It was someone's fucking basement. I gave a guy like $5 or $10 as I walked in, and that was it. I didn't get a ticket. I didn't get like a wristband or anything. No. It was just like
no. Show your ID. Are you drinking?
But anyway, before the concert or the show or whatever you want to call
it, I guess I asked you if you wanted to go see them. They're playing in Chicago, which is like an hour and 15 from here, and so it was like this. Those are shows that I normally go to. That's funny. So you were working at
Radio Shack.
And
I suggested that we hang out before we go to the show together because it might be awkward if we're both, riding together.
Yeah, for over
we've
an
never
hour
met before,
And we're trying to shoot the shit. So we got a little we got acquainted there.
He came to Radio Shack one day while I was working, and we BS'd about all the different things we're interested in, video games, anime, different things like that.
Which was a huge mutual thing. So that's mainly what we talked about, I think.
And then
so the day of the show.
Yeah, here's the thing. I told my boss at the time about the show well in advance. About the fact that I wanted to go see this. And like I had never called off. I had never been late. In fact, I'm the kind of guy who when I work, like I'm at least half an hour early. Every time I'm early.
It's crazy.
And I'm usually the last one. Like if there are multiple people working at the same time, like for the same shift at whatever job it is, I'm usually the last one to leave too.
You're
first one to get there, the last one to leave.
Man.
I don't know. I'm really lazy, so I don't know. But anyway. And I never called off, never gotten there late, always early. And I just one day I wanted to like change shifts with her because like that day she was going to be there from open to some point well before the show, and I was going to take after her like when she got off, and close.
Right. And let me add this. Radio Shack was like closing down at the time. There was only one person on the schedule at a time.
Pretty much.
It wasn't like there was 3 people like, hey, can you cover my shift? Or if Cody wasn't there, it was a big deal if you weren't there. Like you fucking had to be there.
Yes.
So go on.
So, and for whatever fucking reason, she would not switch with me. And I was like, okay. But as soon as she said that, in my mind, that moment I decided I don't fucking care. I'm going to this goddamn show.
That's pretty ballsy, dude.
Yeah. Well, I didn't realize what was going to happen.
About to happen.
So the day of the show comes, and Sean has no idea that I'm having these complications.
Yeah.
He just thinks, I'm getting off, like that's when my shift ends or whatever, and whenever we go to the show. So anyway, the day comes. My boss leaves halfway through the day, and less than an hour after she leaves, I go to the back of the store, change out of my Radio Shack uniform into my normal clothes, start turning off lights and closing down the store. And this is like hours and hours before the store's supposed to close.
Pulling the gate down.
Yeah, all this shit. I mean, there wasn't a gate, but
dramatic. Okay.
Anyway, I do that, and it's so funny because because I parked my car for some reason in the McDonald's parking lot, I think, or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember walking away from the store or driving away from the store and seeing customers like approach it and try to get in, and like they couldn't do it. Like I think what it was, I saw it from I had driven away from Radio Shack and pulled into McDonald's parking lot waiting for you. And I saw customers walk up to the store and try to open it, and they couldn't, and they were confused, and they walked away. And that, and my heart started beating so fast once I saw that. And like, cause like normally we're kind of, I mean, Radio Shack was closing, so of course we were dead. Like we're going out of business,
Yeah, for the time that I was in there, I think like when we first met,
you were there for hours,
like over an hour.
Yeah,
at least 1 hour. And maybe 2 people walked in.
So I definitely didn't think people were going to try to get in as soon as I fucking left, but that's what happened. I was like, oh my God.
It always does.
God.
It always happens like that.
So you arrive at McDonald's and get in my car because I'm the one who's driving up there. And we start driving, and then we get up there really early, so we decided to go eat. And we walk to like a Pizza Hut. It was a Pizza Hut. And
that was another thing. You were agreeing to shit because you're like, I'd really like to get there. And I was like, dude, this is going to start on punk time. I was like, we do not need to get there an hour before the show because it's going to start
another
at least
example
an hour after
of my
that's just how it
naivety.
Every show you go to that's local does that. Yeah. I went to Chicago last Monday and saw Big Brave, and they're like, I would say they're still at the local point, but they're from Canada, and they were like, that's like even a bigger band than Vasudeva, I would maybe say. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so that was at like a huge venue. That was at the Empty Bottle.
Okay.
And that was like an hour and 15 minutes late.
Okay.
From what and like there wasn't like a band that had dropped. They weren't trying to buy time or anything. Just bands always start late, like all the time. So when you were like, I want to get like an hour and a half early, I was like, holy shit! But I just went with it because I knew.
Right. This is our first time really hanging out.
I didn't want to like be too pushy with anything,
and I didn't know anything about any of it.
We actually went to the venue, which was a house, and I like knocked on the door to make sure this was right. And I was like, Vasudeva's playing here tonight, right? Just want to make sure. And the guy was like, yeah, but no. Or I was like, I'm here for the we're here for the show, and he's like kind of confused, and I was we're here for the show. It's at this house. Vasudeva's playing, right? He's like, yeah, but nobody's here. And I was like, okay, right on. Well, we're just going to go get some food then. Yeah. So go on.
We go to Pizza Hut and we get some food. And I get a call from my boss. And so I walk out of Pizza Hut to take the call. And she's asking me what the fuck's going on because I wasn't there and the store's closed and the store's not supposed to be closed. And
to which you replied...
Well, hold on. Like two different like levels of managers showed up. Like our regional manager and our district manager both showed up for some reason. Like not even because the store like they were like going to investigate what the hell was going on. They were going there just to like as a normal, checkup or a check-in, whatever you want to call it. And it just happened to be the fucking day that I left early. I grew balls to like fucking do this crazy thing. Close down the store early. And so like once they arrived and they couldn't get in, they got a hold of the fucking police. And so cops were there. They were there. The cops were there. No one had any idea what the fuck was going on. So, of course, my boss calls me. She asks me what the fuck's going on. To which I reply that my grandpa got into a car accident, and I was at the hospital in the emergency room,
What really happened to your grandpa?
Nothing.
He was fine. He was fine. I had this thought the other day of using that as a scapegoat, as like a excuse, like
to not go to
grandma's
work or
in the
whatever.
hospital.
Yeah,
well, you shouldn't do something like that, but who cares?
I mean? Yeah. Well,
think about if you were like, my friend Sean was in the hospital, I wouldn't be like, how dare you do that?
Right.
It's not a big deal.
Well, back to the story though, because I do that, and she's like, okay, but next time get a hold of me or whatever. It's like, and I just said, yeah, I just wasn't thinking about it because whatever. Anyway, I got off scot-free from that somehow. Like, she talked to me about it next time we were both at the store together, but other than that, I didn't get in any kind of trouble. And that was the only reason I did it in the first place. There were two reasons. One, I knew the store was like a week to 2 weeks away from closing down permanently. And I had already gotten another job. So I was working 2 jobs at the time, and it didn't matter to me if I was, for whatever reason, fired right before Radio Shack closed down because I already had another job. So I was like, fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, nothing to lose at that point, really.
Yeah, I knew they wouldn't fire me, but even if they did, it wouldn't be a big loss, like you just said, essentially. And so I go back in, and I tell you what... Because I think at that point, I had already told you that I had closed down the store early and everything. Yep. And like I didn't get any phone calls, so I thought, I was in the clear. But then I got that call, and then I came in and told you that it was my boss. And you asked me, and you asked me what I said to her or whatever. And so I told you that I lied to her. And then it was at that point you decided to tell me that like the one thing you can't stand about people is like lying, and you can't stand liars. And I was like, oh my fucking god! Different. I know, but I was like, I swear, I do not make a habit of this, and it's true. I don't think I'm a fucking liar.
You're a straight shooter when it comes to honesty.
But my perspective, and it seems you've gotten that perspective now, is like, first of all, fuck capitalism.
Yeah.
And fuck big corporations. And like to Radio Shack, I was just an employee number, and that was it. And what I did didn't hurt anyone. Or it wasted some people's time, and that was about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Even if I had to lie to my boss about it, like, fuck her too. If she would have switched with me, it would have been all right, you know, and she could have.
It's just funny because you tried to get that day off. And then, well, my grandpa is in the hospital. It's just so funny because she might have even known, like, come on. Like, you told her what you were doing and all that.
I think so much time had passed that she had no idea, because I told her, like, we knew about the show way in advance. And I asked her about it because I knew.
Because we almost went to Fort Wayne to see him.
We did.
Because there was 2 different dates that it was like the 13th and the 14th, for example.
Right.
And you were like, I was like, get one of these off. It doesn't matter. We were gonna go to Fort Wayne because you said A, you had never been there, and like B, it's like less populated, so driving would be easier because you drove.
Right.
Because my car at the time was a pile of shit. But yeah. That's a funny story. So yeah,
like and then we went to the show, and it blew my mind in sort of like the opposite way that a show like Kanye West did, because like it was so small, and we were like a foot away from Vasudeva while they were playing it. It was insane.
We were in a room like with all the bands included. There was maybe 50 people there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And everyone was.
They had a merch table on like a table, like they had like all their merch on like a small little table, and it was like they were cramped in a hallway with a bicycle, like now. And it was like that was the only way out because I know Tim Curley's house. You know, we played in one of his houses. I don't think it was that one though. We played in Tim Curley's basement before as Kellum. But yeah, so. It's funny. That's such a funny fucking story, dude. Yeah. It's I always love telling it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just, we were both like.
That was our second time spending any time together.
Because when we watched Vasudeva, dude, I just wanted to dance because they're very upbeat band.
Well, like no one was moving though. No one was dancing or anything.
But when we saw them the second time at the Beat Kitchen, we were going.
We were jamming.
But I didn't want to dance in front of you because I didn't want you to think I was weird.
But yeah, you were kind of bouncing up and down, and I was kind of bouncing too. The first time we just weren't like. It was subtle, we weren't really jamming out.
I love, dude.
But yeah, that was great. Like we stood so close to them while they were playing some of my favorite fucking songs. Yeah. It was so great.
Yeah, dude. Local shows, man. Yeah. Support your local fucking bands, man.
But
it's important because everyone starts there.
Yeah, that was wild. And like that's the only time in my life I've ever like broken the rules so hard. Like almost my entire life I've been such a square. Always by the book. I always follow the rules. I drive the speed limit like almost everywhere I go, almost all the time, unless I'm really in a hurry or I know I'm running late and I need to get there on time for some reason, whatever it is. But like I put my car on like cruise at 55 everywhere I go.
That's funny. When we were on our way to the Vasudeva show, you were speeding because you wanted to get there fast.
I did.
And I didn't know you were like weird about speeding, so I was like, this is how he drives, this is fine. I was just like relaxing, and I was like, I know we're gonna get there early as fuck, whatever. And then on the way back I was like, dear God, like I'm gonna have to fucking like pitch a tent in the back seat because I'm gonna be in this car overnight. I don't know, it's just funny. But yeah, that's how we met, and that's pretty much it for this episode. So it was a little longer one compared to the last two, but we covered a lot of ground.
We'll call this one the very special Christmas episode.
The very special Christmas, episode. I'll just repeat what you say. How about that?
Sounds good.
But yeah, it's been real, dude.
No, you're supposed to say sounds good.
Sounds
you're
good.
repeating
everything.
Oh,
I thought you were going to shake my hand. I was like, let's do that. But yeah, so right on, dude. It's been good chatting with you.
Yeah.
Usually we hang out lately it's been like once a week, and it's while we do the podcast, so. The episodes are usually like us catching up and stuff too, but yeah, right on, dude. Maybe we'll start. We'll start diving into more personal stuff. I'd like to. So
sure.
If you'd like to hear more personal stuff, comment at the bottom in the comment. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna be that.
Leave a comment, Mom, if you want to know more.
Mom, you know everything. Just kidding. Right on, dude. Well, it's been real.
Yeah.
That's a wrap. It's a fucking wrap, folks. Get out.